When people hear about couples having separate rooms, many assume it's a sign of trouble or distance. But the truth is, every relationship is unique, and what works for one couple may not look traditional to others. Separate rooms don't always mean separation of love. They can sometimes be a pathway to deeper respect, personal space, and even stronger intimacy. In Relationship and Marriage Tips Unveiled, we explore the hidden sides of love that people don't often talk about. Today, we're uncovering the truth about couples who choose separate rooms, not as a sign of falling apart, but as a choice that can create balance, preserve peace, and allow two partners to come together with even more intention and closeness. Because love isn't about how many walls you share, it's about how strong the bond is when you come together. Before we proceed, kindly subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications button for more tips on how to keep your relationship waxing strong on a daily basis. Why separate rooms are misunderstood. When people hear that a couple sleeps in separate rooms, the first thought is usually, oh, something must be wrong in their marriage. Society has conditioned us to believe that real love means constant physical closeness. But the truth is, every couple defines love differently. Separate rooms aren't always a sign of distance, they can be a sign of maturity, balance, and respect. Misunderstanding comes from assuming all couples must love the same way. But love has no single formula. The myth that love equals constant closeness. Closeness is beautiful, but constant closeness can also create friction. Imagine always being in the same space, never having a corner of your own. It can lead to irritation, even resentment. Love thrives when two people choose to come together, not when they feel forced into it. Separate rooms allow couples to recharge individually, so that when they reunite, it's intentional and joyful, not routine or pressured. How culture and tradition shaped the one-bedroom idea. Traditionally, couples were expected to share everything: meals, spaces, even beds. Culture painted this as the only valid form of love. But if we look back in history, many aristocrats, royals, and even ordinary couples often had separate chambers, and still shared deep love. Over time, media and tradition created a one-bedroom expectation. But just because something is tradition doesn't mean it's the only way. Every generation has the right to redefine what togetherness looks like. Why choosing space doesn't mean choosing distance. It's important to separate the idea of space from distance. Space is intentional, it's chosen with love. Distance is avoidance, it's chosen with resentment. When couples choose separate rooms, it's usually about creating a healthy balance, not running away. It says, I love you enough to honor your needs and mine. And that kind of respect can actually bring partners closer, not farther apart. Famous couples who used separate rooms. Even in history and celebrity marriages, many strong couples chose separate bedrooms. Winston Churchill and his wife Clementine did. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip did. These weren't loveless marriages, they were partnerships built on respect and individuality. If some of the most influential couples could thrive with separate rooms, maybe it's time we stop seeing it as a red flag and start seeing it as an option. The power of redefining intimacy. Intimacy isn't just about sleeping in the same bed, it's about connection, trust, and intentional closeness. For some couples, intimacy grows stronger when there's a little space. When you have separate rooms, every kiss, every cuddle, every moment of togetherness becomes a choice, not an obligation. That kind of intentional intimacy is often deeper and more meaningful. Respecting individuality inside marriage. Marriage doesn't erase individuality. You're still two different people with different rhythms, needs, and preferences. Sharing life doesn't mean losing yourself. Separate rooms can help protect that individuality, giving each partner a space to recharge, reflect, or simply rest in their own way. And when two individuals are strong, the couple they form together is even stronger. Different seasons of love require different arrangements. Relationships go through seasons. Early on, sharing a room might feel natural and necessary. But as time passes, work schedules change, children come, health needs shift, what worked before may not work now. Choosing separate rooms during certain seasons doesn't mean love is fading. It simply means love is adapting. And flexibility is what keeps relationships alive for the long run. Learning to explain your choice to others without shame. One challenge couples face with separate rooms is outside judgment. Friends or family may ask, "Why don't you sleep together?" The key is to own your choice without shame. You don't owe everyone an explanation, but if you do share, speak with confidence. This is what works for us. Love doesn't need validation from outsiders, it only needs agreement between the two people in it. Foundation: love is about connection, not walls. At the end of the day, walls don't define love. Connection does. You can share a bed and feel miles apart, or you can sleep in different rooms and feel deeply connected. The heart of love is understanding, trust, and intentional closeness. Whether you share one room or two, what matters most is that your hearts are aligned. That is the foundation of lasting love. Benefits of separate rooms. Better sleep equals better moods and healthier relationships. Let's be real, lack of sleep is one of the biggest silent killers of patience in relationships. When you're tired, you're more irritable, less understanding, and small issues feel like big problems. Separate rooms can solve this. If one partner snores, tosses, or has a different bedtime, separate sleeping arrangements protect both people's rest. And when you wake up well rested, you wake up kinder, calmer, and more capable of loving well. A good night's sleep is one of the most underrated gifts you can give your relationship. Personal space equals less irritation, more appreciation. Think about it, when you never have a space to call your own, even little things, like the way your partner folds clothes or leaves their shoes, can start to bother you. But when you each have a room, you get to breathe. You get to enjoy your partner without feeling suffocated. Space creates appreciation. You stop focusing on their little habits and start focusing on who they are and how much they mean to you. Freedom to keep personal routines. Some of us are night owls. Some of us are early birds. Some love reading before bed, others need silence. When you share a room, these routines can clash. Separate rooms let you keep your personal rhythms without disrupting your partner. You can stay up writing, journaling, or watching a movie without guilt. Your partner can go to bed early without frustration. Respecting routines is respecting individuality. A chance to nurture individuality. In long-term relationships, it's easy to get lost in the we and forget about the me. But the truth is, individuality is fuel for a strong partnership. Having a separate room can be more than just sleeping, it can be a creative space, a prayer room, a reading corner, or a sanctuary for reflection. When you nurture yourself individually, you bring a fuller, healthier version of yourself back to the relationship. Less conflict about cleanliness, habits, and timing. One partner is neat, the other is messy. One likes the window open, the other prefers it closed. Sharing a room can sometimes turn these small differences into daily conflicts. But when each person has their own space, those arguments disappear. You're no longer fighting over blankets, alarms, or room temperature. Instead, you get to enjoy your partner without being weighed down by constant disagreements about lifestyle habits. Creating excitement when you reunite. Think about when you were dating, you didn't live together yet, so every meeting felt special. Separate rooms recreate a little bit of that magic. Instead of being together by default, you come together by choice. Walking into each other's rooms, sharing a cuddle, or having a late-night chat feels exciting again. Space creates anticipation, and anticipation keeps love alive. Giving introverts and extroverts the balance they need. Not everyone recharges in the same way. Extroverts feel alive by being around people, while introverts need quiet time to refill their energy. In a relationship, these differences can clash, unless you create room for them. Separate rooms give introverts the space they need without making extroverts feel rejected. And when both partners' needs are met, the relationship thrives. Health benefits: reduced stress and better rest. When you're constantly sleep-deprived or overstimulated, stress levels skyrocket. Stress not only affects your mood, it affects your body, your immune system, even your intimacy. By having your own room, you reduce unnecessary stress triggers. You get the kind of rest that allows your mind and body to heal daily. And when your stress is lower, your patience, affection, and overall health improve, which means your relationship improves too. Separate rooms as a tool for longevity. Here's a hidden truth: many long-lasting marriages stay strong because the couple found ways to adapt. For some, that adaptation was choosing separate bedrooms. Instead of letting small irritations build up for years until they explode, these couples created a system that protected their peace. Longevity isn't about never having challenges, it's about finding solutions that work for both people. Separate rooms can be one of those quiet solutions that keep love alive for decades. Turning absence into anticipation. They say absence makes the heart grow fonder. Even within the same house, a little absence can do wonders. When you sleep separately, you get the joy of missing your partner, even just for a night. That makes the moments you do spend together, whether it's a movie night, a cuddle session, or simply talking, feel sweeter. Space doesn't reduce love, it sharpens it. It reminds you not to take closeness for granted. The emotional side. How separate rooms affect intimacy. One of the biggest questions people ask is, if we sleep in separate rooms, won't it kill the intimacy? But the truth is, intimacy is so much more than sharing a bed. It's the way you look at each other across the room, the little touches during the day, the intentional time you choose to spend together. For many couples, having separate rooms actually protects intimacy. Because it removes the friction of sleepless nights, small irritations, or feeling smothered. Instead, every hug, every kiss, every cuddle is intentional. Intimacy is not about constant presence, it's about meaningful connection. Debunking the myth that space kills romance. Romance doesn't die because of space. Romance dies when effort dies. If anything, space can breathe new life into romance. Imagine knocking on your partner's door with flowers, or inviting them into your room for a cozy movie night. It feels like dating again. You're not just roommates sharing a bed, you're lovers choosing each other again and again. Romance is fueled by choice, and space gives you more opportunities to make that choice intentionally. Why mystery and longing are powerful in relationships. One of the things that slowly fades in long-term relationships is mystery. When you see your partner every second of every day, including every messy moment, the mystery disappears. Separate rooms help preserve just a little bit of that. You don't have to share every single detail, and that small space allows for curiosity, for longing. And longing, in a relationship, is powerful. It keeps the spark alive. When you're apart, even just overnight, you miss each other, and missing each other makes reunion sweeter. Emotional security through independence. True security in a relationship comes when both partners feel free to be themselves. Having separate rooms is one way to say, I trust you, and I don't need to control every aspect of your presence. That independence builds confidence. Instead of feeling trapped, both partners feel safe, because they know the relationship is based on choice, not compulsion. Emotional security grows when there's freedom, and freedom sometimes looks like giving each other space. Separate space as a safety valve in conflicts. Every couple argues. But not every couple knows how to argue well. When you share a room, sometimes conflicts drag into the night, stealing rest and peace. Separate rooms act as a safety valve. They give you the option to cool down, to process emotions, to breathe before saying words you might regret. Having a place to retreat doesn't mean you're running away, it means you're protecting the relationship from unnecessary damage. And when the storm passes, you can return to each other calmer, ready to reconcile. The importance of choice and consent, not control. For separate rooms to work, both partners must agree. It should never be forced, never a punishment, never used as control. The beauty of this arrangement lies in mutual consent. It's about saying, I value you and I value us, so let's create a setup that brings out the best in both of us. That choice becomes an act of love. And when both partners are on board, the arrangement doesn't divide, it unites. Balancing closeness with individuality. Relationships are a dance between two needs, the need for closeness and the need for individuality. Too much closeness, and you lose yourself. Too much individuality, and you lose connection. Separate rooms allow couples to find that balance. You can enjoy your individuality, your hobbies, your style, your rhythms, while still cherishing closeness. You're not choosing one over the other. You're choosing balance, and balance is what keeps love steady. How absence makes the heart grow fonder. We often underestimate the power of absence. But even a little space can reignite affection. Think of how good it feels to see your partner after they've been away for a trip, or even after a long day at work. That spark of excitement can exist in small ways when you have separate rooms. A short absence each night makes the morning greeting warmer. A little distance makes the next hug tighter. Missing each other is healthy, it keeps love alive, protecting respect and admiration. Sometimes constant closeness leads to taking each other for granted. You stop seeing your partner with fresh eyes. But when you give each other space, you protect respect and admiration. You see your partner as an individual again, not just an extension of yourself. And when you see them this way, your admiration grows. You remember why you fell in love in the first place. Respect fuels love, and space often protects respect. Redefining what togetherness looks like. Togetherness doesn't always mean sharing the same room or the same bed. Togetherness is about unity of heart, not proximity of bodies. Some couples thrive by being side by side constantly. Others thrive by giving each other room to breathe. Both are valid. Love is not about following one script, it's about writing your own. Redefining togetherness in your relationship might mean sleeping in separate rooms, but living in deeper unity than most couples ever find. Practical strategies for couples with separate rooms. Talk about it before you do it. The first step in making separate rooms work is communication. Don't just move your things one night and surprise your partner. That creates hurt and confusion. Instead, sit down and talk openly. Explain why you think separate rooms might help, whether it's for sleep, peace, or personal space. Listen to your partner's feelings too. The key is clarity. When you both talk it through, it doesn't feel like rejection, it feels like teamwork. Set boundaries together. Separate rooms work best when boundaries are clear. Will you have open-door moments where either partner can visit any time? Or do you want to knock before entering each other's space? Will your rooms be strictly for rest, or can they also be for hobbies and quiet time? Having boundaries ensures no one feels invaded or excluded. Boundaries are not walls, they're agreements that protect love. Create rituals of connection. Even with separate rooms, you need rituals that bring you back together. It could be as simple as having dinner together every night, a bedtime chat before you head to your separate spaces, or a morning coffee ritual. These little habits act like bridges. They remind both partners, yes, we may rest in different rooms, but our hearts are in the same place. Without these rituals, distance can creep in. With them, connection thrives. Keep romance alive intentionally. When you sleep apart, romance won't happen automatically, it has to be intentional. Knock on your partner's door with flowers. Invite them over for a cozy cuddle or a late-night talk. Plan surprise date nights, even inside the house. Think of it like dating again, you don't just end up in bed together by default, you choose it. That choice keeps romance alive, because it turns routine into excitement. Balance time alone with time together. The danger of separate rooms is drifting into two separate lives. To prevent this, balance is essential. Schedule time together, just as you schedule time apart. Movie nights, board games, evening walks, these shared moments balance the solitude of your separate spaces. Alone time should never replace together time, it should refresh it. The healthiest couples use solitude to recharge, then return to each other with more love to give. Never forget to follow my channel Relationship and Marriage Tips Unveiled for more.